with the towering Inferno, the reigning unified super welterweight champion of the world, making his first title defense this next Saturday here, March 22nd in Vegas against Cordell Booker. Sebastian, man, what's going on? I just wanted to start by asking what makes you want to live in the mountains, man? A lot of champions, they'll move to a city, Miami, Las Vegas, whatever. What makes you want to live, in the middle of nowhere?
I like peace. I like peace. I like being away. I like my privacy. Right here in the mountains where no one wants to come up to. I get it.
Well, let's get into the fight, man. Why won't ring rust be a factor in this fight? Just two fights in the last 2 years. Why won't that matter in this fight?
I've been working this whole time. It's not like I've been on and off or anything like that. I haven't been no partying, no smoking, no nothing like that. I don't do anything like that. I've been working this whole time. So ring rust is nothing um, that you're not gonna see during the fight. So I'm ready for this fight.
Going back to you winning the belts against Zoo, what do you think allowed you to not get hit with the right hand after the first 2 rounds? I know people will say, well, the cut, but it was clear, like what changed, you think, after those first 2 rounds?
I just started doing what my dad told me to do. Box, keep boxing. Uh, uh, a lot of people want to make the excuse for the fight that this guy had blood in his face. This guy came out every single round, and he was looking at me in my eyes, and he hasn't complained at all about it. A lot of people want to make these excuses for everybody else, but I haven't heard it from Tim Su himself. So
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think it's like the Zoo fight has been hard for the public to gauge. Because even though he had that hot start, you were clearly composed. Like you weren't rattled by him landing the right hand early. Then he gets the cut, and you seem to be, even before the cut, you were waiting to really make your move in the fight. But then he got cut, and then Murtazaliev was able to take him out in a couple rounds. So, what do you think is the truth in that fight?
well, we saw it. We saw what happened. I feel the people that talk a lot are either they betted and lost money, or the people that are probably close to Tim Su, and they're just batting for him. But that's boxing, boxing full of opinions. Sports are full of opinions. Life is full of opinions. That's what makes it interesting.
Did you think he wasn't quite the same fighter coming off that fight in the Murtazaliev fight?
I did think so. We saw after that first round, you saw that look he made. He almost, I think he touched his head as if the cut was open. The cut wasn't there no more, but he was worried about that. I don't think he was 100% there in that fight, but it happened.
Is that what those of us outside the ring call PTSD kind of thing?
I guess so. I guess so. I'm not gonna call it anything like that, but you did see that reaction and that hesitation after that, whatever clash of heads or punch, whatever that happened, what happened when made him do that.
We didn't see that hesitation from you when you had your tough moment with Mendoza. Why is that?
Well, we went back and we worked. We went back and we worked. We know what happened. And we fixed it, and now we're here as champion.
What do you think of Cordell Booker?
All I know of him is that he's southpaw. He fought a couple times on PBC, uh, and but we're ready for whatever he brings.
You can't I know you can't overlook or underestimate anybody, but do you think this is, you look dominant or even spectacular in this fight?
I plan to. I plan to. I always plan to look dominant. That's how you win the fights. Uh, I just want to show the best towering inferno that the fans can see.
It looked like there was definitely some, like your dad told you to box in the Zoo fight. Like there was some adjustments to your style. How different are you right now than you were a couple years ago?
We're maturing. We're maturing always. When I first started with PBC, I was 20 years old. I'm 27 years old now. 7 years into this, and We've been fighting these top ranked fighters. It's been a blessing with their career. It's been a hard career, but I think it's been a blessing fighting all these tough opponents. And now that we're at this level, we're champion. Anybody who's coming in now, we've been there, we've done that before. Bring it on.
What would you say though, talking technical stuff, stylistically, what do you think is different about your style these days or improved?
Just the knowledge of the sport, IQ, seeing punches, or how to throw the punch, how to throw it right, how to stand right when you do it, stuff like that. You get with more years in the sport.
Um, you know, do you feel at all uh that you're the only guy in this division with two titles? But like you said, a lot of people have things to say about the Zoo fight. You've been out the ring for a year. Do you feel anything extra to prove, any extra fuel in the tank to show, I'm the real deal as a champion? This isn't, easy. I'm not just going to be here for a short time with these titles.
I don't think of those things, honestly. I have nothing to prove to nobody. I've been working my whole life for this thing. I'm finally here. I have nothing to prove to nobody.
What do you what do you what's the big, you're the champion. What's the fights that you want in the division right now? Some of the names following a fight with Cordell Booker first and foremost.
I'm not the promoter. I can't pick the fights, but there's a lot of great names in the division. I'll fight all of them.
Did part of you ever think with the Spence, what was that like going through the Errol Spence stuff where repeatedly the fight fell through?
The fight was never a sure thing. There was no contract or anything like that. But he came into the ring. He said he wanted to fight. He showed me his winning ticket for betting on me, and that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, did any part of you feel like, man, maybe I should have, well, two parts of this. Did any part of you feel like, man, I should have went ahead and tried to make the Crawford fight after all? Or on the other hand, do you think was he really serious about fighting you, or did he know you already had plans trying to make the Spence fight and it was talk?
And that was another thing. Both of those fights were just talk. It was just talk. I never seen no contract from nobody. I would have said yes to either of them, but I didn't get no contract from either of those fights. So here we are with Booker.
What do you think of like when you just look at the rankings for the WBO and the WBC? It looks like the most likely names would be Vergil Ortiz, Zayas, Charles Conwell, Boachuk. Well, what do you think of the Vergil Ortiz fight?
I think everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants my titles. Everybody and their mother wants my titles. So it's just when those fights happen, they'll happen. But for now, we're right here with Booker. We'll get this W next Saturday, and then after that, we'll work with that.
What do you want to show in this Booker fight?
I just want to show that I can defend my titles.
Do you what are your thoughts though and specifically a Vergil fight because he's the interim champion and seems like a great style matchup.
It's a great fight. It's a great fight, but we won't know until that fight happens.
Did you guys ever come across each other in the amateurs or anything?
Nah, I don't even know his age or anything like that. So, I stopped boxing amateur at 16. I was just our training pros right away.
Damn. Yeah, that's right. Um, you know, also, what do you ever think about? Like, I don't think there's ever been a brother sister undisputed or a brother sister that made the Hall of Fame. Do you ever think about that with Gabriella?
I think we're on that path. I think we're on that path. If there wasn't, we're definitely on that path for the first. We're making history right now. I think maybe in a couple of years you'll be hearing Fundora as a household name, like everybody, all these other big names.
Is that a major goal of yours beyond just winning world titles? You want to be a household name?
Definitely, definitely, and I think we're on that path.
Um, Man, you're a man that sounds ready to fight, man. Ready to get these interviews out the way and get to putting your hands on Cordell Booker. If there's anything, well, actually, before you do get out of here, I think I saw a headline of you already speaking on it in another interview. But what do you think of Dana White and Turki Alalshikh, and they're trying to really get rid of the titles that you've won, fighters like you have won. What do you think about that and their venture into boxing?
Well, they're taking away the titles. I don't care for that. They could do whatever they want on their side. But the fact that Dana White and Turki Alalshikh are trying to improve boxing, I'm all for it. Do your thing. Anything that's good for boxing is good for me. But the titles, I don't care. You're not touching my titles. Get away from me.
All right, thank you, Sebastian, man. If there's anything else you want, to say to the boxing world, let it be known, man. But otherwise, thanks for your time.
Tune in March 22nd on Amazon Prime Video. Fundora Booker. It's gonna be a great night.